I'm outside and the weather is horrible, but I'm going to Luna Park for rehearsals today. Just thought I'd show you. Sydney, I'm under the harbour bridge. Yay! Alright, that's all I've got. And we're finished for the day. Here's the big face. Yay! And I'm going home. What have you got, Hopi? New toy? What do you think, Marley? Is he gonna share? Oh, one of the monkeys is coming out! Hopi, Hopi, can I have a look at it? Can I have a look at it? Gimme. Let me have a look. So, oh, there's monkeys. Am I supposed to take them off the thing? Hang on. Oh my goodness. What do you think, Mike? All the monkeys are in the banana. You ready, Hope? You ready? Run! Oh my god. Where'd he go? Where you going? Good boy, Hopi. Are you just gonna break it, Marley? Oh dear. So the ball squeaks as well, if you can figure it out. And it tastes like beef, I think. It tastes like beef.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's why he's so into just like licking it as well. Hope you make it squeak.
Beef.
Chip chip.
Beef. Oh, come on, Marty.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bit. It's a bit tricky, especially with your. Ooh, good job, Hopi. Yeah, that's a tiny ball, isn't it?
Prime Minister Scott Morrison is out of isolation and back at work. Emerging from the lodge this morning, he was quick to declare the importance of addressing climate change. But we still don't know if he'll attend
What do you think, Mike?
the climate summit at the start of next month. Here's our political editor.
Hey, so those are some clips from my day. It's the first day of getting out of lockdown for those of us who are fully vaccinated in Sydney, New South Wales. And, yeah, I think I'm just a little bit overstimulated because I actually left the house and did something substantial for a long period of time. And then, yeah, the chaos with Hope's package arriving and all the toys, and I'm just like, oh my god, too much input for my brain that's used to sitting around even more than I would normally, because, yeah, I didn't even go out to lunch with Mum. So, my brain's like a little bit in overload, which I wasn't really expecting, but I guess maybe I should have. I don't know, because like I'm not that social anyway, so you'd think anytime I go out I should be overloaded. But no, I think it's just like suddenly into the deep end. Yeah, with rehearsals and hanging out with actors and like it's a really sort of friendly and chaotic, like energetic kind of environment. And like it just surprises me every time when I hang out with actors. I mean, it should be kind of obvious, but yeah, they are those sort of friendly, sociable people. I guess because, like, having grown up the sort of math science nerd, quiet, very shy, I could barely talk to anyone back then. I think that's my like default expectation, is just the sort of, quieter, not doing very much, nerdier kind of vibe. I don't know. I guess like even my friends in school were more social and active than me, so maybe it's just a me thing. Anyway, I guess not really talking to anyone for months, apart from like family and psychologist and the odd shopkeeper, or I did meet like one of my old regulars from when I used to work in retail and had a chat with her one day when I was out shopping. Anyway, no, point being, I don't know, I'm just always kind of surprised by how like friendly and chatty that actors are, and I really shouldn't be, but hey, and I'm just like, this is probably the best way to leave lockdown for someone like me, because I am very introverted and I do fall into that pattern of sitting on my bum. Whereas now, because I'm doing this gig, I have to get out there and I have to learn to be out there again, I guess. So yeah, fun stuff. Blah blah blah. And because I'm like, I'm looking at my Facebook post to remember what even is going on. But yes, it was cold today and rainy, and I'm just like, can winter please stay in lockdown? Like, it doesn't have to follow us. I was hoping for a bit more of that spring weather, but no, today was definitely winter again. Very strange. Anyway, yeah, and then Hope's packages, you saw how much fun he had, and Mikey getting a little bit like, yeah, no, he gets a bit shy with some stuff. Mikey, if you don't know, I mean, it's pretty obvious, he's disabled, he's my little brother, and, yeah, he doesn't always know what to do with new stuff. Although he does have, like, one of his carers sometimes brings this tiny little monkey mascot. So it's not like he hasn't seen tiny little monkeys before, but I guess with all the squeaking and the chaos and, yeah, them popping out of a banana. Yeah, anyway, so... Oh my god, and I've got to actually write down a to-do list of, like, appointments I need to schedule, because there's a few... It's just like too much for my brain, like, months of just sort of sitting around, and then suddenly it's like everything at once, go go go. And I probably should have organized some stuff earlier. Like, there were some places already organizing appointments, but now I'm like, now I really should get back onto things. Oh, what are some other things that I wrote? Okay, so usually when I go to either the Hello Scream auditions, or like when I got in previously, you do like like introducing yourself with like one thing about you, and usually I would introduce myself like as a metal vocalist with the growling and whatever, but this time I introduced myself as a bonsai artist. You're only allowed to say one thing about you, so that's the thing I picked. I met the drummer of a local band that I haven't really gone to see, but like one of my friends from uni is in it, so I know about them, and I was like, oh, you must be from, yeah. And I have a sort of like audition for a band, like they were looking for a vocalist, and I'm the complete opposite, and I told them so, and I've shown them clips, but they were like, no, we're kind of open. So I've been sent a track, and now I have to work on that. So it's like another thing, it's like everything at once, like even unexpected things, like auditioning for another band. So yeah, I've got to get my brain in the game. Oh my god. And I've got to do some more vocal prac. Like, I've hardly done anything through lockdown, because I just sort of, yeah, after that last attempt at a project with the anti-vaxxer collapsed, I was just like, yeah. But no, so got to get my head into the writing music and actually like sing and get my voice back up to scratch. Oh, I was excited about having rice for breakfast. We have a little rice cooker, and usually in the morning it's not running, usually we have it at night, but this morning it was on, and I'm like, yay! And because otherwise I would have toast for breakfast. Usually peanut butter toast, sometimes Vegemite toast, sometimes I'll even put a bit of cheese on top of the Vegemite if I'm feeling really out there. But no, if I see fresh rice and if there's something to have with it, and I cooked yesterday, I made spaghetti bolognese, even lazier than like previously when I've shown you guys that. Maybe I need to refilm that video. Anyway, do you see like my brain jumping from thing to thing? No, so I made spaghetti bolognese yesterday, and so I still had like some bolognese in the fridge, and then I saw the fresh rice, and I'm like, I will heat up my bolognese, chuck some rice on it. So I had this huge breakfast, which was maybe a mistake because I thought I need to eat lunch before I go to this rehearsal, but I was so full that I couldn't, and so I did bring some food to have through the rehearsal, but yeah, then when I was like going home, I was like, I'm actually really hungry because I didn't have a proper lunch, and that's my own fault. Anyway, no, rice is great. Japanese rice cookers are way better than, well, maybe us Aussie ones have caught up by now. I don't know, it's taking forever. I just trust the Japanese ones and maybe not the Aussie ones. Anyway. Oh yes, I've been watching Heroes, and it's finally starting to get the bits that I like. And I've been drinking chamomile tea again. Oh, I didn't finish it. It's cold. Oh no, it's cold. I was trying to calm myself down with the chamomile tea, but it hasn't really worked. Also, just in case you're watching, shout out to Shane. Because now I'm like, oh, and on camera I act a little bit different to real life, I think sometimes it depends on what mood I'm in. But I guess like talking to yourself, you kind of have to keep going because otherwise it's just like this awkward silence and no one is going to fill it in. But okay, so I think Shane was asking me about the bonsai thing and expressing surprise because, like everyone that I remember, they all know that I'm the like heavy metal girl. But this time I mentioned the bonsai thing, and so he was asking me, I think like the conversation was a bit chaotic, so I think he was trying to ask me about, surprise, like, how does the bonsai fit in with being heavy metal? Because bonsai is like chill and zen, and heavy metal is like rah. Yeah, well, my boss is actually into heavy metal as well, and that's kind of like how we got talking, because like I went to one of the exhibitions and bumped into him again, like I used to do their classes when I was younger, and yeah, we bumped into each other. I think we might have added each other on Facebook, and then he saw me posting about heavy metal and was like, I'm actually into that too, and that's how we got talking, and then eventually he offered me a job, and then previously when we were working out the back of the nursery, we used to listen to heavy metal while working. We now work in the studio, so can't really do that because that's where all the customers are, and also the other guys, like the bonsai place shares a space with another group, so yeah, we can't really play our heavy metal. But bonsai and heavy metal, we're both half Japanese and bonsai heavy metal fans. I don't know how it fits, but like heavy metal can be zen in its own way. Like there's even that video, The Zen of Screaming, which I'm not that into, to be honest. It just seems like this massive promo for the chick rather than like actually teaching much that you could use. Like it's mostly just regular vocal exercises with strange names that she's given them, and not a huge amount that's very special, and not a lot that's very well explained. But anyway, no, I guess it's like zen through chaos. Also, if you consider bonsai, what you're doing to them, you're manipulating the heck out of these trees. Like trees want to be big, and you are forcing them to be small, and you are chopping them in different ways to make sure they grow the right way, and then you're putting wire on them and bending them in all these weird angles to sort of force them to obey your will, and you're manipulating life itself. And when you start thinking of it that way, you're like, yeah, actually bonsai is pretty heavy metal. We're also quite brutal to the roots, for example. Before lockdown, I had started helping out with some of the classes, and you get in some people who do know a little bit about plants and maybe have worked in nurseries before, or maybe just done their own gardening, and they're very careful about, you take the thing out of the pot, you try not to disturb the roots because you don't want to shock the plant, you transplant it into whatever thing. But with bonsai, what we quite often do is we get the thing, we scrape out the soil from the roots, we chop the roots, and then you put it in this tiny little pot. You have these big plastic pots you're taking them from, and then you're putting them into these little ceramic pots. So we're actually quite brutal when we're doing bonsai. And some of those guys who come in and do the classes, they're like, oh my god, what are you doing to that? And we're like, yeah, no, it's fine. And that's how you make pretty little trees with heavy metal brutality. I don't know, it works somehow. Some people might be zen about it, but when you really think about what the plant itself is going through, the plant is probably like, wow, this is torture. So, if you think about it that way, it's very heavy metal. And, yeah, that's all I've got. That's all I've got. I feel like there was like one more thing I could say about that, but I'm way overstimulated. Is it worth heating up this? No, it's not worth heating up this tiny amount of chamomile. Do I want to drink it even though it's cold? Maybe not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this video, finish editing it, get it uploading, start watching another episode because Comrade Cam, I think you changed your name. I can't keep up. You keep changing your name on YouTube. But yeah, he's trying to catch up to where I'm up to in this, and we can also mock my ego. And then yeah, I don't know, I guess we'll try and watch episode by episode, and if anything comes up, we'll have a little ramble about it on Facebook. But I need to keep watching it because this is a guy who will like binge watch an entire series before I'm done with 2 episodes. So I need to keep making sure I watch. I am up to tonight, if anyone else wants to catch up to where we're at, I finished disc 4, so that the last episode on that is Fallout, and the next one I'm up to, it's a bit of an awkward case. Godsend is the one that I'm going to be watching. Like, it's got like, and then there's like disc 7 is just loose. So yeah, Godsend is where I'm going to be up to next. Yes, I still use DVDs rather than whatever streaming things you guys do. I don't know, I just prefer DVDs. And then sometimes, like, you know, you start watching something on Netflix, but then they take it off because you are too slow at getting through them. Because I did start watching, Yu-Gi-Oh! A while back, and I know Paper Vampire is laughing at me because I said I would stop this video, but I'm still rambling. I'm sorry, it's just how I am. And you love it. Anyway, yeah, no, I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! On Netflix, and then I took a break because, I don't know, I was distracted, and when I went back, they only had season 3, and I'm like, I'm not up to season 3, and I think that was one of the worst ones, or at least the beginning of it is terrible. Anyway, so, yeah, DVDs, not gonna let me down unless I break them. Some have had, like, dirty stuff, but I have my whatever this is to spray it glasses cleaner, and then I just get this, and they seem fine, so whatevs. Where was I going? My brain just like, I've had too much input, and now we've got to try and tone it down a little bit, except we are up to some fun stuff in here. As I said, I think in the live stream, it's not the split personality character I'm into, it's the Sylar character, and we can talk about that at some point. But I think the 6 months ago one is kind of funny because, you know, I have this terribly large ego, but at the same time, I've like compartmentalized things within my psychology, and it's just like, it's funny because he's a watchmaker and I'm a nerd. But, you know, he's all like, I'm special, and I'm like, I'm trying not to be that kind of bitch. But anyway, yes, you've seen my video about being competitive. Yeah, anyway, heroes, stuff and things, that's what I'm gonna do next. I need to also write down this to-do list before I forget. And I think that's everything. Okay. Let's just have a moment to chill. We just breathe in, breathe out, and try not to think about Daleks making relaxation tapes. I'm gonna go before I hurt myself. Bye.